Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This week has been pretty crazy. Today's Friday, so we're ending off the week, and there's still a lot of work to do on Saturday and Sunday, but goodness, this week has been a lot. Lots of cool stuff that's happening behind the scenes, stuff that I'll be talking about soon on the channel, but just a wild week, and it's been a cool week. It's just been 24-hour days grinding, and now we're here. We're here at the end of the week. Also, today has been the first week, or today completes the first, literally today's Friday, the first week of DailyPalantir.com. So for those who don't know, I launched the website, a blog dedicated to Palantir, because I'm putting up so much Palantir content, and I was like, wait, could this all be centralized in one place and be like this curation tool for people to actually find content and like actually be a legitimate website, the Teslarati, which is Tesla's biggest blog, on Palantir, because I didn't think that existed. And so I created it, and I got the idea last week on a Monday, or 2 weeks ago on a Monday, launched it this week on a Friday, or last week on a Friday, and now we're here this week, 7 days later, and it's time to look at the analytics. It's time to look at what it's been. I've always said I'm going to be super transparent. I'm going to show you guys how the website is doing. I also want to sort of like vlog the journey of how I'm building the website, because I think this website could get like 1 million views a month one day, and just like a lot of people could organically find it as they get interested in Palantir. So I think it's a really fun journey of actually trying to build and show you guys how it's doing. So without further ado, let's dive deep, for all my people who love numbers, into the analytics. This is what it looks like. Traffic overview. I'm using Wix. Wix is just the easiest platform that I was able to use, and I think their analytics are actually, it's a pretty strong feature for what it's built in. So this is the platform I'm using. We've had 14,000 site sessions in the past 30 days. Now, the website's only been active for 7 days, so that's why it's including everything that's happened so far. 9,659 unique visitors. That means, let's round it up to like 9,700 people in the world have discovered the website, or at least have gone on the website. Now, 14,000 site sessions. A session is like how much time, it's like, did they go on multiple pages? So there's like page view, post view, and then there's session. Session is people who've like explored the site, clicked on multiple things. We've had 14,000 sessions. Obviously, a lot of those 14,000 sessions came from these 9,000 unique visitors, and probably, even half of those unique visitors comprised most of the site sessions. And this is the cool part. The average session duration is 5 minutes and 49 seconds. That means on average, when someone goes to the website, they spend 5 minutes on it, which is pretty cool. In this attention economy, in this creator world where content is everywhere, to get someone to spend 5 minutes, basically 6 minutes of their day on your thing, it's pretty cool. And each article is around 3 minutes long, so I'm assuming they're reading on average 2 articles, which is cool. We're getting people to read on average 2 articles. Now, this graph, why is this graph going down? This graph is the inevitable graph of content. You will see it on YouTube. You will see it on whatever you do. This is the day we launched. There was a 336,000% increase in comparison to last month, because last month this didn't exist. 336,000 people, or 3,365 people discovered the site. After that, the traffic started slowing down, obviously, because like it's hard to maintain traffic. But theoretically, what we've been able to do to me is pretty strong. I mean, you're not going to replicate the launch day numbers, because that's the day like everyone. It's like when you have a good YouTube video. Like you have a great YouTube video, everyone's interested in that. The next video is obviously not going to just live up to that level of views. So you got to kind of condition yourself to think of it that way. But we had 3,000 the first day. Next day we had 2,000. Next day we had 1,500. And then starting this week we had 1,700, 1,600, 1,300. And then today is 256. And the reason it's kind of low today is because I haven't published an article yet. I have about 3 articles I'm publishing today, and they'll be published a little bit later. So again, the unique visitors in this time were 9,659 people. And then sessions by device. 10,000 people checked it out, or 10,000 sessions were conducted via mobile, 3,000 on desktop, and 122 via tablet. If that shows anything, that means that most people are accessing the website through mobile, primarily through Twitter, which we're going to talk about in terms of how we got traffic in a bit. And so like I had to make sure the website was super optimized for mobile, and there were a lot of things in the beginning that like there wasn't even a subscribe button on mobile, like it wasn't easily seeable. And as soon as I changed that, the number of people who started subscribing to the website and giving up their email for the newsletter, that started increasing as well. So like mobile is the big thing. Desktop around for that, so 27% of people, mobile 72%, and then tablet is 1%. I didn't even know people like still use the tablet to like go on websites and stuff, but people use the tablet. Countries. So United States is obviously the most popular. 6,900 sessions have been done in the United States. Canada's the second at 1,194. Then Germany. Germany's a big one. I've been seeing Germany in a lot of the analytics. Singapore, UK, Sweden, and Japan. So lots of different countries. I mean, let's click next. Okay, here we go. You got Malaysia, Australia, South Korea, Netherlands, Spain, Denmark, Hong Kong. Spain probably came from yesterday because I did an article about Spain. Palantir's going into Spain. And then I hope you guys should be able to see that. Yeah. Let me actually just switch this thing real quick. Boom. Now you guys should be able to see this more easily. So we have Israel, Italy, Switzerland, Taiwan, Portugal, Romania, and then we have just a bunch of these countries. It's pretty cool to see all these countries in the world, check out my stuff. I mean, like people in Qatar, are checking out the stuff. It's like, that's just cool, man. The internet, if it has shown me anything, the internet is really, really big. Now, here's the big thing I want to get into. How did we get traffic? That is the crazy, crazy element of this that I really want to talk about, because traffic is an interesting thing. So I'm showing you the last 30 days, and we're going to see how people actually came to the platform. How did they discover the website? How did they even hear about it? How did they search something and potentially find the website? And then as a result of seeing that, where did they, what activity did they do on the actual platform? So this is the last 30 days, so the last 7 days that it was live. Direct traffic source is the biggest. Now, what is direct? Direct means people type in DailyPalantir.com. So we did a good initial launch the Friday that I launched last week, to the point where the name of the website got ingrained in people's minds, and they literally just went to their browser and typed in DailyPalantir.com, right? That counts as a site's direct source of traffic. We had 4,000 of those. That led to 9,000 page views, and that led to 2,700 unique visitors. Then we had social, right? Then we had Twitter. And for Twitter, let me put this here back in the corner now. For Twitter, we are looking at the biggest thing. 6,000 sessions were done through Twitter, 8,000 page views through Twitter, and 4,000 unique visitors. Now, Twitter is big. So I have 2 Twitter accounts right now. I have my personal account, which is about 4,000 followers, and then I have a Daily Palantir account that I launched last Friday that has 1,200 followers. And that's like insane to me that I got 1,200 followers in a week. So the cool thing about, and those are 1,200 engaged followers around Palantir, right? So it's like a really highly targeted niche audience. So the cool thing is now when I publish an article, I post it on my Twitter and I post it on Daily Palantir, and then both of those platforms or both of those accounts will retweet the article from each other. So like whenever I do a push, there's a good chance I can get at least 200-300 people to at least see it. And then if the article is good enough for them to click on it, they can click on it and we can drive them back to the entire website. So Twitter is a big thing. I mean, people obviously retweet stuff, people favorite stuff. So like Twitter is like, I'm starting to realize it's one of the strongest networks in the world in terms of driving traffic to online media that doesn't have to do with like video or audio, because like people are there to read. And if you put an article there and people read it, or people are in the mood to read, they'll click it and they'll go read it, right? So like Twitter is just one of those sources that is so phenomenal to be able to drive traffic. So Twitter is big for us. I mean, Twitter is huge. Then we have organic search Google. This is the one I got to optimize. I got to figure out how Google can be like 100,000 like people coming to the platform website every day. Now, there are about 500,000 searches of Palantir a month from my research that I've seen. And that number is only going to go up as Palantir gets more, what do we call it? That the price of Palantir goes up, right? Because more people will be interested in it. I believe that's going to happen because I believe Palantir is a rocket ship. I don't know if it's now. I don't know if it's a year from now. I don't know if it's 3 months from now or a couple days from now. I mean, the past week we've seen a pretty good gain in Palantir, even though like today is Friday, it's like come back down. But as more people search for it, if Google is recommending the platform, I keep saying platform, the website to people, they're going to click on it, right? DailyPalantir.com is going to be a pretty credible source at the end of the day when most people who want to learn more about Palantir check out that website over something like Seeking Alpha or Motley Fool or all these other websites. So that site session is at 1,900, 6,000 page views, and 1,100. Now, the beautiful thing about Google Organic Search is as long as you optimize your content for Google, they will like recommend your content when people search it. And if you can get to that top of that search results, boom, you've got a thriving website that's going to constantly drive traffic organically. You don't have to do anything for it. And that's basically what I've done on YouTube. I mean, YouTube has done that for me, right? I don't really push my videos. I just publish them and YouTube recommends them. It's like a YouTube algorithm. Google search is a little bit different than a YouTube algorithm. YouTube's more of a platform type of thing. Google's like just a true search engine. So you can drive a lot more traffic if you just really optimize for Google. And the level of output you can put out is more. I mean, you can make a ton of YouTube videos, but at one point, if you upload 10 videos a day, like YouTube's just not going to like it. Google, you could upload like 30 articles in a day and they're going to start to get indexed if they start getting traffic. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do with Google. So Google's a really important one. Then we have Facebook. There's a couple of Facebook groups I post in. They're like kind of Palantir groups that people don't talk about. So I'm just like, all right, I just post my articles there and people see it. Social, YouTube, this is the traffic of like me putting the link in the description. So that's driven around 900 page views, 300 unique visitors. Reddit, I don't post much on Reddit, but I know people post their articles on Reddit. So hopefully that grows over time as most people post. Then we have stock twits. That's like Twitter for stocks. People posted there. Bing and Yahoo. I didn't even know people still use these. 19 and 43 unique visitors, 130 page views, 91 page views. Not bad. And then we have a bunch of other things. DuckDuckGo. I didn't know people really use DuckDuckGo that much. That got me 26 page views. Then we have a bunch of these things, Slack, Naver, Instagram. So these are all people that are just like sharing the article to their friends, maybe sending it through DMs, all that type of stuff. The big ones are direct, Twitter, and organic search. I mean, if I can, and when you're driving traffic, you're not going to drive traffic from a million places. If you can get, one or two things correct that are driving traffic and just hammer those down, you're going to become amazing at those things. And as a result of becoming amazing at those things are going to, ultimately optimize and drive a ton of traffic for you. So that's kind of the key thing. Now we talked about traffic sources. Let's go to this thing. Let's go to homepage, or sorry, page views. So this is the page widgets. This is going to show what websites people were clicking on, or sorry, what pages on the website were people clicking on. Now I did an article. Let's show you this article right here about CodeStrap. This was the biggest article. 5,000. Look, this had 4,000 last, 4,800. So this is the one that's getting a ton of traffic organically through Twitter. This thing got a bunch of retweets because like the title was good. Palantir signed a YouTuber to help explain their software to the masses. Very, very interesting. And it drove a lot of traffic. People were really interested in that. So as we can see this right here, and as you can see, Palantir signs a YouTuber to explain their software to the masses. 4,800 page views in the past week. 5,000 on the homepage. That makes sense. Then we have Palantir's working with the UK to manage data. That was a news story I broke on Friday. 1,000 page views or 1,300. Latest news. That's like a tab right here that people click on. It's the second tab. It makes sense why people click on it. 1,200 views. Alex Karp has a plan for stock-based compensation. Did an article on that yesterday. How many views is that? That's 1,100 views. So that one was an interesting one. And then we have the other ones in terms of how they got their views. So this is sort of what it looks like. And what's important to understand about page widgets on a website is that like the pages that are the most optimized, those are the ones you got to go all in on. So like, for example, if I know this article did really well, the question to maximize traffic is like, how do we get more people to know about that article? How can I make more content related to that article? So in the context of this CodeStrap news, CodeStrap's making a bunch of videos about Palantir because he's getting them approved through Palantir, right? So all of those videos, I'm going to get like a week early. I'm going to be able to look at them as well, be able to make my article, and then I'll be able to put those out. So there's just a lot of different ways to sort of diversify the content that's ultimately happening on the platform. Let's look at behavior overview. I actually haven't looked at this in a while. What is behavior overview? So this is likely going to show me how people are engaging on the website. So we have 1.5 average pages per session. We got to get that to 2 or 3, meaning more people are checking out different stuff. Average session duration is 2 minutes, 2 seconds, which means when they're going through multiple pages, they're spending 2 minutes, 2 seconds on it. But the overall time they're spending on the platform is like 6 minutes, what we showed above. Bounce rate is 66%. The bounce rate is the visitors who left your site after viewing only one page. So let's say they viewed one article and then they just left the website. They bounced. Let's say they viewed the homepage. They didn't find any good articles. They bounced. We got to get that to like, 30, 40%. I mean, bounce rates tend to be high, but if we can get that lower, that's awesome. So here we go. I didn't even see this. Top navigation flows. So entry your homepage, and then boom, this is where people go next. So 27% of people, once they get into the homepage, they're going to go to this article. Makes sense. This was one of the biggest articles. From this homepage, you have people going to the About section, the deep dive on Palantir stock price, Palantir signs software to the masses, latest news, and then others. So this is really cool. It's like when you see when people join, this is kind of ultimately where they go and how the platform attracts them, or the website. And the more to understand about how the website attracts them, the better chance you have of optimizing the website. So people, 17 people came from email, 563 new leads. These are the number of people that have subscribed to the email list, which is so important because if you have like 10, 15,000, people on an email list, you can really, that's a lot. That's just, it's good to own like no one can take that away from you, right? Twitter, YouTube, they can't take that away. That's your email list that people voluntarily subscribe to. And once you have those emails, I mean, you can do a lot of different stuff with that in terms of just getting people to know more about your product and your awareness and the thing you're trying to do. Let me show you one traffic report of like, let's do the 23rd. Let's do Wednesday. Let's see how that goes. Or just Wednesday. Yes, set. So just March 23rd, 2022. That's the last thing we'll look at. So this is what it looks like for one day when you're driving traffic on a platform. So we had 1,600 sessions, 1,400 unique visitors, and 5 minutes, 53 seconds people spent on average on the session duration. So on mobile, we had 1,200, desktop 437, tablet 20. And then the cool thing here, this is the thing I want to show, there's 790 coming as new visitors, and there's 608 returning. So on Wednesday, we had like 800 people newly found out about the website. 608 people came back after they knew about the website. And it's so cool that Wix can like track that data and you can see that stuff. United States is the most biggest. Canada is second there. And then Singapore and Germany. And then if we go to the full report by traffic, it'll also be interesting to just look at what it was like on that specific day. Because on that day is kind of what we're looking for. So let's do custom, right? Let's do March 23rd. And let's see what the traffic looked like. And it's really important to sort of analyze what it looks like on that one day, because if you're able to see what it looks like on that one day, you're able to optimize it for what it's going to look like on the next day, if you're able to just kind of build it out. What is this? Is just, yeah, okay, so it's still loading. And what I've seen is that Twitter and organic search on Google are the two biggest things, or Twitter and direct. So as you can see here, social Twitter led to 700 sessions, 1,000 page views, 695 unique visitors that one day. Direct led to 349 sessions, 750 page views, and then organic search led to about 700 page views, 213 sessions. And then everything else under that is just like, it's whatever. So like Twitter, direct, and Google. Direct is getting people to know more about it, and maybe that's just tweeting more about it, right? So people just have it in the back of their head and their subconscious, getting people to save it as their favorites on their browser or whatever that is. Google search, just more people searching for it and optimizing to get in front of those keywords. And then social and Twitter, that's the biggest one, the bigger your Twitter audience. I mean, imagine you have 100,000 followers and you tweet an article. Like, people are going to click on it. People are going to see it. And then if you can keep them coming, then that's the most important thing. So those were the stats. I think the launch was a success. It was a community-driven launch. I had a lot of people support and a lot of people help. I mean, I did not expect the amount of support that I got from people subscribing and checking out the platform, and I keep saying platform, website, and retweeting, and just like, I think people wanted this to happen. You know, community is a buzzword, and a lot of people use community in the creator economy space now. But what I've realized is, like, if you're in a niche community and you're actually optimizing for that community, it's not a buzzword. Like, a community can actually lift you higher and like really build something together with them. If you know, because it's a lot of work doing this. It's a lot of work doing this. And I think a lot of people appreciate the amount of work that's required to do this, especially when I'm not making any money off of it. But I just have big goals for it in the future. So like, I'm super excited to do the work. And I think people recognize that, and they think that I'm a guy that could actually do this in a meaningful way. And that's why people support it. So thank you so much if you support it. Subscribe to DailyPalantir.com. You'll get a newsletter every Thursday with the hottest Palantir news. And that's it for your email. And yeah, I'm excited to see where this website goes as Palantir grows over time. I think it's a rocket ship, and I think more and more people are going to discover it. And one day, hopefully, Alex Carr pops on an interview with DailyPalantir.com, because if they're already working with CodeStrap, I mean, I think they're going through the retail community. I think they can. They haven't reached out, but I know they see this initiative. They're not like, they know it's probably happening. Now it's just a question of them embracing it fully and seeing what happens in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching. This was an in-depth look into the analytics of Daily Palantir's first week of launch. I will update this probably monthly, letting you guys know how the website is doing, and we will go from there. Thank you guys for watching. Leave your comments. I'll see you in the next one.